Hello, it's Bailey and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing an unhaul. I did one not too long ago, but it's time again. I have too many books that don't fit on my shelves. All of these, pointing is hard, all of these are TBR books that don't actually fit on my shelf right now, so I'd like to at least make enough room for those today. So I'm gonna quickly show you the things that are already off my shelves, like things that I read and were low rated that I've already set aside to get rid of, and then we're gonna go into the shelves. And when I do these, I like to try to pick at least one book from like each individual shelf to get rid of. I'm not gonna make myself do that, but like on average, that's about what I would like to get rid of. I'm gonna have to be a little more strict with myself than I was the last time I did this. Just, I'm getting too many books and I don't want to buy another bookshelf at this time, so it's time to clear some out. So for what I already have set aside, I have We Need to Do Something by Max Booth III. I actually really enjoyed this one. It's just like a short novella, but I don't think that I'm going to reread this. I think the story will stick with me. I said when I read this that I really don't like that this has like a super open ending, but I would still recommend this one. And then I also recently finished The Dating Playbook by Farah Rochan, and I only gave this 2 stars, and the first one I had only given a 3-star, I believe, so I'm gonna get rid of this one, and I also pulled the first one off my shelf to get rid of. Then I have I'll Be Gone in the Dark by Michelle McNamara, a recent DNF, which was The Book of Accidents by Chuck Wendig, which this is a nice one to not have enjoyed because it is thick, so that clears a lot of space. Then I have everything that I read during the historical romance readathon. I didn't have anything that went that well, so I have Love is a Rogue by Lenora Bell, A Man to Call My Own by Joanna Lindsay, The Rogue of Fifth Avenue by Joanna Shoup, and then I had DNF'd Wicked and the Wallflower, and then stated that I just don't think Sarah McLean is for me. So I had these 2 as well that I hadn't read yet that I pulled from my TBR to get rid of. Actually, I think the first book in this series is still on my shelves, so I'll probably be pulling that one to get rid of as well. So I'll have 4 Sarah McLeans that I'm getting rid of. So that's everything that I already had set aside. So now we're gonna go into my shelves and make some decisions on what to get rid of. Okay, so my shelves do go by author last name like this way, but for the sake of like framing of the video, I'm gonna go like on the shelf of just what you can see. So for this first shelf, I'm not really sure what I'm willing to get rid of. I'm not gonna like really zoom in on any of this. I know for sure I'm probably gonna get rid of Highlander Most Wanted by Maya Banks. I really loved the first book in the series, but I didn't love this one as much, and I don't see a reason to hold on to this. But then I think for this shelf, the rest of these I would want to like at least give them a reread before I would choose to get rid of anything else. So then on this shelf, I do have that Sarah McLean that I talked about, so I'm going to be getting rid of that. And then I think I also am willing to get rid of When We Were Vikings by Andrew David McDonald. I did really enjoy this one, but again, it's not something that I think if I rolled it to reread, I don't think I would be excited to reread it, so I might as well get rid of this. The Morgan Matsons I have here, I'm tempted to say I'm willing to get rid of, but I would kind of like to at least give one a reread before I make that decision. And then I also have Pushing the Limits by Katie Mcgarry, and I gave this 5 stars, but I don't remember it that well, so that's another one I'm tempted to get rid of, but I don't think I should at this point. For a book I gave 5 stars, maybe I should try to reread it. And then to bring you down to this bottom shelf, my unread books start here. So I've read everything this way, and there's actually quite a few here that I'm willing to get rid of. I'm willing to get rid of Cast by Isabel Wilkerson. This was a very good nonfiction, but again, not something I think I would reread, or if I did, it would definitely be on audiobook. And this is a chunky book, so again, it'll clear up quite a bit of space on my shelf. I'm also willing to get rid of When You Were Everything by Ashley Woodfolk. This was a Shelf This Book Club pick, and I actually enjoyed it pretty well, but again, I don't think it's something I have a strong desire to reread. I always hold on to It's Kind of a Funny Story by Ned Vizzini. Again, something I should definitely reread before I decide to get rid of it. It's probably been like 10 years since I read this book, so I'm not sure. But I am also willing to get rid of The Knockout Queen by Rufi Thorpe. Again, another one I enjoyed, but I don't think I want to reread this one. Okay, coming into my second bookshelf out of 4, on this top row, there isn't much that I'm willing to get rid of here. I see one thing tucked way in here that you probably can't see. And that is Adulting, How to Become a Grown-Up in 468 Easy-ish Steps. I enjoyed this, but it's just like a list of like adulting things, and I don't think this is anything I'll ever find necessary to reread. And then on this second shelf down, there's also only one thing that I see that I'm willing to get rid of, and that is An Anonymous Girl by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. I do have their other 2 books to read still, but this one was just a 4-star for me, and I'm willing to get rid of it. I'm not showing the bottom shelves now because those are all unread books. So on to the next shelf, on this top shelf here. I think I'm willing to get rid of Firefly Lane, to be honest. Again, this was just a 4-star read for me, and I recently read The Four Winds by Kristen Hanna as well, and I really didn't like it, which I think that just kind of clouds the author for me, and I don't want to hold on to this. I kind of don't feel like I need to hold on to The Girl on the Train, but I'm going to for now. And I also always look at the F-it list, but this one is another one that I gave 5 stars to, so maybe I should give a look at that one again. And some of these John Green, like An Abundance of Catherines and Looking for Alaska, not sure if those would hold up. So there is more on this that I'm not like, these are diehard favorites, but I'm not willing to get rid of them at this time. And then for the shelf down lower, I think I do want to get rid of at least one of these copies of Eleanor and Park. As you can see, I have 3 copies, and honestly I think I'm willing to get rid of the collector's edition. That's like the blue one. I would rather keep the original edition, and then this is like the UK paperback, and everything else here I think I'm going to hold on to. Okay, and this is the last one out of 4 here. For this top shelf, I think I'm willing to get rid of The Name of the Star by Maureen Johnson. And a couple other things that I'm looking at, I do have Captured by Beverly Jenkins tucked in back here, and The Lover's Dictionary by David Levithan are things I would consider getting rid of, but I think for now I'm going to hold on to those. And then for the shelf down, I have a lot of Neal Shusterman, which I'm not willing to get rid of. So that takes up a lot of this shelf. Again, some of this Nicholas Sparks I would like to reread before I decide to get rid of it. I am willing to get rid of Three Women by Lisa Taddeo. Again, just not something I would feel the need to reread. I did give this 4 stars when I first read it. And so I think that's it for now. I think that's all I'm willing to get rid of. Okay, so I'd like to quickly recap everything I just pulled from my shelves. These are not stacked up well. They're not in the order I pulled them at all. But I pulled Adulting by Kelly Williams Brown, An Anonymous Girl by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen, Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell, Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna, Three Women by Lisa Taddeo, The Name of the Star by Maureen Johnson, The Rogue Not Taken by Sarah McLean, Highlander Most Wanted by Maya Banks, The Knockout Queen by Rufie Thorpe, When You Are Everything by Ashley Woodfolk, Cast by Isabel Wilkerson, and When We Were Vikings by Andrew David McDonald. So that is 12 books that I pulled off my like red shelf, and I usually for every 5 that I pull from my red shelf let myself get rid of a TBR book. I don't like to get rid of my TBR books just because I would like to at least give those books a chance, but sometimes you just lose interest. So technically I would be able to get rid of 2 from my TBR shelf, but since I'm already choosing to get rid of the Sarah McLean books that I decided not to give a chance, I'm not going to pull any more from my TBR shelf at this time. I do think that throughout this year I'm gonna have to do this a few more times. I'd like to put off getting another bookshelf until at least like next Christmas, so I will probably be doing this again. Let me know if you like to see them or if I should just continue to get rid of books without really saying anything about it. That's what I've usually done, but my last unhaul was pretty well received. So for now, I'm gonna go back to these shelves, scoot everything over, and hopefully make all of these TBR books fit onto the shelf. All right, yay. I got everything to fit here, and then 2 of my red books didn't fit like on this row above and had to come down here. I obviously would prefer that all of these be red and have like less of a TBR all the way through the bottom, but that's okay for now, and I have this much space to spare. But thank you so much for spending some time with me today, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!